Good morning, afternoon, evening, nighttime, Random County. Welcome to another episode of the Random and Roulette podcast. I am your host, your trusty lunch tray, and I am joined by Spooky Suki.
Hello.
So it hasn't been a minute. We're back on our regular.
No, it's been regular.
Yeah.
We are now on regular schedule again.
Regularly scheduled podcast,
Thank goodness.
which is great because now it's going to be summertime, and
Yeah. I mean, but Wednesdays are usually we're around Wednesdays.
Yeah. No one fucks around on Wednesdays anymore. We used to, but then we got old.
Yeah, I don't know if I could anymore. I think if we try to do drinking on a Wednesday night, I
God,
would probably want to die.
I can't believe I used to put away a 12-pack on a Wednesday night and then go to work the next day.
You know what, too? We, during that time, we would get together on Wednesdays and do Weird Arts. And then we would get together again on, Friday or Saturday and do it again.
Well, no, and maybe not beard arts, but, we used to do, the loft and shit like that.
Yeah, I think Friday nights we would go up into the loft or to the bars or something.
Yeah, and then
but then,
drink the sun up.
A lot of Saturdays we would do Beard Arts, too. That shit's insane.
How did we do that?
I have no idea.
That wasn't even that long ago.
I can tell you I definitely couldn't do that now. I would want to die. Shit, even now, when we go out and I have, 2 drinks, I usually want to die from not being drunk, but, I either get stomach cramps or I just feel like shit. What a great time getting old.
You're getting old.
I mean, you're also... You're always getting older than I am.
What the fuck does that mean?
Because you're already older, so you're just getting more old.
That's not...
At the same rate.
Oh, okay. I thought as you get older,
No.
I get double old.
I mean, yeah, probably.
No!
But it's always...
Yeah,
you're
it's almost
always
like we're...
You're gonna be older. You're always gonna be older than me.
That's how linear time works.
So
I'm
we think.
Always going to be 10 years older than you until I die.
Yep.
And then you'll catch up.
Then maybe I'll be older than you at some point, but probably not.
You ever I feel like that'd be a weird thing to think
Do
about.
you ever have a thought?
Nope.
Stop doing that.
Not since 96. So my grandma died when she was 72? No, younger than that, 68 or something like that.
Okay.
And my mom is 63.
Yeah.
So she'll, in not too much longer, be older than her mom ever was.
Yeah.
I don't know. To me, that's a weird thing. I don't know. I've actually had this existential problem for a while now where the world moves on and doesn't give a single fuck about you.
Nope.
Yeah.
Never does.
Yeah.
The passage of time
Yeah.
slows for no one.
There's a common phrase in the sports world that Father Time is undefeated. It's it doesn't matter how talented you are, someday you will be old.
Okay. I was like, why is that in the sports world? That's weird. That's a weird spot for that one. But yeah, I mean, it makes sense because it's you're only going to be good for so long.
Yeah.
And then you're going to suck.
Yeah, and then you'll be bad.
And someday, if you're lucky, you might even be absolutely decrepit.
Well, you ever see there's a video of he's a Japanese man. He's 100 years old, and he was a championship 100-meter dasher, and he still runs the 100 meters he still practices it, but he's just old.
Yep.
He's just slow.
Yep. That's how it works.
Things don't work the way they used to.
You get old. That's just the way it be.
Oh, in honor of Le Steve, I got you an orange ramené.
I actually quite adore Steve. That he's. I think that's quite fun. It's a quite fun meme. I don't know.
I'm actually kind of surprised at how quickly things are happening. I mean, because he's the base of a lot of short form videos, but creators, especially craft people, are making Le Steve stuff.
Yeah,
it's dear God, I guess. When your whole platform is to be relevant, I guess you have to do that.
Yeah, but I wonder how long he was a meme in France before he made his way over here. I wonder how long it took
Le Steve
to get over here. I really am curious about it.
It was probably in 2008 or something like that.
I don't know. I feel like it's got to be a little more recent than that.
There is a cyclical, not chirality. There is a cyclical nature to memes, where like they'll come back around, vintage memes, if you will.
I hate that.
Why?
I don't like that. Saying vintage memes makes me uncomfortable.
Well, think about it. Like, when's the last time you saw Success Kid? You know, little kid on the beach with the fist. Yeah, apparently he's like in high school now.
Who?
Success Kid. The classic memes. Or like Philosophy Raptor or
See,
Rage Wolf.
I think my experience with the beginning of the internet was a bit different than yours.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of vintage internet,
Oh, God.
4chan is completely down. Got completely hacked and removed.
4chan's gone?
Gone.
Holy shit, that's like...
That is, to me, that is like the birth of the internet.
Wait a minute. Is this a conspiracy thing where it's like 4chan got deleted to delete like all of this history on the internet of stuff?
Well, that was also, I mean, it wasn't all based, but it was a lot of the ways that, it was a main way that Anonymous, the hacktivist group, well, they're not hacktivist group, Anonymous is anonymous.
Yeah, just anon.
But it was a way that they communicated.
Yeah.
One of the many channels, but like, yeah.
Yeah, but still, there was so much on there.
Yeah.
There was so much stuff on there.
Yeah.
And for it to just go poof.
I guess.
That's
They
kind
got
of
like
insane.
hacked and like now it's completely down.
I
Like
wonder-
you can't even like hit the site.
What the fuck? That is weird.
Yeah.
I want to know more about that. That's interesting. I'm
That'd
going to have
be-
to look that up later.
Yeah, that was actually really recently.
That's... Yeah, there's a lot on there. Oh my god.
Well, and it's okay. Yeah, there's definitely like bad corners of it, but I mean,
Yeah.
there's bad corners of Reddit
Yeah,
too.
but for like the most part, it was just for like shit posting.
Well, yeah, but there's also a lot of like hobbyist stuff on there. Like there's a whole like gunplay. It's like not subreddit, but page. There's a lot of like just weird art you just can't find anywhere else.
Yeah. Wow, that's pretty crazy.
Or it's also like databasing. Like there's a wallpapers subreddit that just is
Yeah,
enormous.
yeah.
It's like
God, that's almost like if you when they deleted all the old MySpace stuff.
yeah. It's about that big.
Yeah, this is like that vibes. Although I never understood why they did it, but that they didn't get hacked. They actually like willfully
No.
shut that down.
It was a mistake. When they moved servers, all the old stuff got deleted,
Oh,
which really sucks because
That
I
was
had
the
a
best.
bunch of all the like back when I would still like wrote in college.
Yeah.
I had all that posted there, and that was the only place I had it.
yep.
And now it's all gone. Well, I guess I had it on a hard drive, but then the hard drive also fried. But yeah, that was the only like place where I had it,
Yeah.
and now it's
Yeah.
it's gone.
There was noise.
That sounded like an aurora,
Probably.
small creature.
What was... I forgot what I was going to say now.
Katy Perry went to space.
I could care less, to be honest. Like, I know that was supposed to be like a big deal or whatever, but it's like, I cannot be bothered about it. It's like, oh yeah. Because like all those ladies paid for their way to get up there.
Yeah, because that's what
It's
you
like-
do.
Ladies, I'm sorry, but like, you could have paid for somebody's surgery with all that money, and they didn't have to die.
Yeah, like the one time when was it like Kim Kardashian had an MRI to prove that she didn't have butt implants? It's like that was someone's cancer diagnosis that you bumped out.
Yep,
Like,
yep. Or like somebody's brain bleed.
yeah.
Like, that's crazy.
One of my favorite. Okay, there were two. This hilarious memes about that. One of them was so Katy Perry going to space. That's great, but why did we bring her back?
I mean,
I don't actually hate Katy Perry
I know,
that
and
much,
that's
but
the thing.
there's a huge air of just pretentiousness with it. It's
Yeah.
like shut the fuck up.
like that's kind of the thing though. Is like Katy Perry's not really a bad person either, so it's hard to like hate on her
Yeah.
because she actually did like build her career from the bottom up, and
Wasn't she like a Christian music star or something like that?
her first album was Christian music under her
Other
like
name.
her actual name.
Yeah.
And then like all that stuff with Russell Brand and whatnot is kind of shit on her, which is awful. But like, so like it's hard to be angry at her about it. And
Well-
you know she was probably invited as like a publicity thing,
Well, yeah.
which sucks. And
And
she
you
was
get-
probably just like, yeah, go to space. But, so it's hard to be angry at her about it. And I don't know any of the other ladies on there.
No, and there's so like as the flight was like, they were like, the line for space is really, really amorphous. So it's like, did they actually go to space? How long were they actually in space? It was between like 10 and 20 seconds that they were actually like up there.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, she comes down, like kisses the ground, like, you know, the whole thing. And then the other meme that I found hilarious is like, so Sunny Williams was up there for 8 months.
An unplanned 8 months. That poor lady. Well, then everybody was like, oh my God, she got gray hairs from being in space for 8 months. It's like, nah, dudes, she just didn't have a hair person up there to dye her hair for her. Calm down. I'm sure she was fine. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe it was a bad time.
Could be cosmic
Who
rays.
knows? Who knows if it was a bad time or a good time up there? I don't know. If you got sent up into space and they were like, yeah, we can't bring you back down for a while, would you be like, oh yeah, this is a great time? Or would you be like, holy shit, we're gonna die?
If it was SpaceX or Blue Origin saying, hey, yeah, we're not quite sure, yeah, I would shit my pants. But if it was like NASA saying, okay, yeah, we're gonna have to wait on this one, we're gonna have to come get you later, I'd be like, okay.
Oh, so it would depend on who's telling you have to stay in space?
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like if NASA was like, hey, we're gonna have to leave you up there for a while, I'd be like, what the fuck? But if like Blue Origin told you first, be like, oh yeah, we're just gonna have to keep you up there for a while. I'd be like, oh, all right then, guys. But yeah, if like NASA says you're screwed, I feel like you're really screwed.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know. Depend on how they would deliver the news, I suppose.
I know someone has done something with it, but like when the pandemic hit, like there were still astronauts on the space station.
Oh shit, yeah.
And it's like, what do we do? I think one of them was is his name Curtis Hatfield? Crisfield something. He's Canadian, and like he had to like basically do like a second tour. Because
they were like,
well, we're not going to set anything up for a while because everything's kind of fucked up down here.
Oh god, yeah. Well, how do you, if you're up there and they're like, yeah, you got to stay up there because there's like a disease wiping out a bunch of people?
Yeah.
Would you be like, yeah, I'm gonna stay up here? Yep, we're good.
No, that's got to be like that's a science fiction thought experiment. It's like, there's a giant disease that wiped out all of humanity. You're the only one left on a space station.
Yep. It's like, like, you could even make it where it's like, it's in between, you're the only person on there because it's in between shifts of people being on there, and then everybody else gets dead from a terrible disease, and you're like, I guess I'm up here now.
Yeah, or there's people going down, like, into disease-infested Earth, and there's people coming up that know they have it, so now they can't dock with you, so they're also stuck in, like,
their little pod thing.
Ooh, write that book.
That's a thought. I'm sure somebody's written something like that before.
I mean, that's not like an absurd science fiction trope.
Or like you watch an area of the Earth that you're from get nuked from space.
Oh shit! There's plums in there. I just noticed. There's there's floaters in your drink. I'm like,
yes, he is looking at a bottle of plum.
I don't know what the fuck
plum wine.
Yeah,
that I have.
It does not look like booze. It looks like a sports drink.
But it has It has quite a few plums in the bottle.
Yeah.
Maybe like
6 or 8.
Yeah. And he just noticed. So, wasn't completely out of the blue.
Speaking of Red and outer space, I started the series Red Rising.
I know nothing about that.
It's I think it's supposed to be YA. I didn't know that it was until I kind of got deep into it. I was like, oh, this kid's a teenager and he's the main character. Okay.
You know, I actually don't mind YA that much.
Yeah, but
I think it gets a lot of hate.
Well, it gets tropey is the thing. And
yeah, but you got to find stuff that's
not
like the Hunger Games.
Well, that's the thing. This is very similar to the Hunger Games. At least the first book is. Or
Gerard Way fanfic.
Yes. Not about Gerard Way.
It is, though. It is.
He's sparkly.
Poor Gerard Way.
No, it's actually really really well written, and I'm listening to it on Audible, and there's like just the regular like audiobook, but then there's like the audiobook dramatization.
Oh.
So each character is read by a different voice actor.
Oh, cool.
And there's actually like sound effects and music in the background.
Oh, cool. I think I'd like that better.
Yeah. So it's a lot of fun.
Because there was an audiobook that we were doing, and it was just one person reading it the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
And they tried to do different voices, but their different voices were not good, and I was really disappointed. So I think I would like the different voice actors better.
One of the more famous ones of the first one you said, where one guy does all the voices. All of the Game of Thrones books are done by one guy, and it's Royce Datrice, but he's a voice actor. So each character, he plays a different voice for, but it's all one guy.
Yeah.
And it's actually really awesome.
Yeah. I think it was like I think it was the Aragorn books, the audiobooks. And his dragon voice is not pleasing to my ears. I don't like it. So we kind of stopped listening to him because I was like, I can't do this anymore. I don't like it. I don't know. I generally don't do audiobooks either because I like to read, but I think audiobooks are a good thing for people who don't like to read.
Yeah, it's also awesome for like trips and stuff like that. Like I've gone to and from Omaha a lot recently.
Yeah. See, we usually do a podcast, a specific podcast. We do The Omnibus.
Yeah.
So it's Ken Jennings and John Roderick. They're great. But I have realized that if I am really tired, they will put me to sleep. So, like, if he's driving and he knows I'm, like, dead tired, he'll put them on. So I'll fall asleep in the car. Yeah. So, like, one of these days, I think what I need to do is just take a bunch of their episodes and chop off, like, the intro and the outro and just have them talking the entire time and listen to that go to sleep. I think that would work. Because, like, I can't do music because when the music changes...
It wakes you up?
It wakes me up.
See, here we go, talking about how bad you are at sleep. It's like, I just go to sleep.
Fuck you! You be happy about your good sleeps, you bastard.
I do like to sleep with, like, something, like white noise. Like, I think I've said before on this podcast that I grew up next to trains.
I gotta have a fan, and it can't be too fanny or too less fanny, because then it's the wrong amount of fan. So when this fan, that fucking tower fan, goes out by the computer desk, I don't know what the hell I'm gonna do, because that's what I have on all the time. And I have to have it on, like, not the little one, not the little notch, but the next one up. But not the next two up, because then it's too loud. So fuck you! I just want normal sleeps.
I have had, like, on accident, like, usually I used to fall asleep to nature documentaries. Now I fall asleep to Star Trek Voyager. But with nature documentaries, sometimes YouTube will just decide it just does stuff without your permission.
Yeah.
And it turned on autoplay. So it played videos like all throughout the night. Uh-huh. And it started leaking on my dreams.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's like what about the podcast that makes me fall asleep is because it kind of leads me into dreamland.
Oh, okay. So you actually have like an active imagination.
Yeah.
So like, I guess there are some people who just like, they just don't have a mind's eye.
Yeah, I don't know what that would be. That would be so weird.
It's like, so when you read what's going on in your head.
Yeah, you're
like,
not having a movie going on like the rest of us. Or there's people that just like fall asleep and then they wake up without any dreams at all. They just fall asleep and wake up. I'm like, what kind of fucking magic would that feel like? I don't think I'd like it.
Well, I know Auntie Karen has said that she doesn't have an internal monologue. Which to me, that is also equally insane.
Or there's people that only have one or the other. Like, I don't know about you, but I have both where I can do words or pictures. Mm-hmm. And apparently some people can only do one or the other. Where they only do like more wordsy things, or some people only do pictures.
Wow.
And I'm wondering if it has anything to do with if somebody is neurospicy or not. But I don't know if that's been an avenue.
I feel like
that has been
not
explored.
having like. I feel like not having that stuff would be neurodivergent. It's like, well, your brain's not working all the way. There's a piece that's missing.
I don't know, because most of the neurodivergent people I've met can do both. So I don't know.
Does that mean that I'm neurodivergent?
Yeah, dude. you got the rhythm with the tism all the time.
Oh, there's a spoon video I need to show you.
A spoon video. Oh boy.
Now that I said that, I understand what that sounds like. Never mind. We went to see the studio.
Oh yeah. I was too busy to go, and I was really disappointed.
Oh, son of a bitch! You're supposed to get pictures and shit.
I really wanted to go because I like hanging out with Dan and stuff.
Yeah.
But
that guy is a treat.
Yeah, he's fun. He's fun. The last time we were there, he was like, "Hey, dear, can you go pour me more of my drink?" And I was like, "Oh, buddy." If anyone else would ask me that, they would be in trouble. But I'm going to be nice to you. Nice. And he was like, "What do you mean?" And I'm like, "I would just dump the entire thing in there if you were anybody else."
So this is the first time I ever met him.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, duh. Yeah, you probably haven't been out there.
And so, like, we're all just, like, hanging out in the control room and, like, in between takes. Like, you know, he's just talking to the band. And then he just turns around and just cracks one of his jokes, just, you know, just completely unprompted like he does.
Oh, yeah.
And I thought he was actually like, telling a story. And then they came to punchline, and I'm like, okay, I like this guy.
He's a lot of fun to hang out with. He is so much fun.
No, and he just has so many of them. They're all just bangers.
Yeah. He's so much fun. That's what I was really disappointed that I couldn't go. Because I ended up, what was I doing? Oh, I went and I was already busy the one night. Oh, that was the weekend that my in-laws were staying with us. And Grandma came with as well. Oh. So I was like, I can't just, like, leave them here. That would be...
Well, you could. You never obligated. Well, they just, like, surprised that on you. It's like, hey, we're coming up.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
well,
they always do the thing where, like, they call, like, an hour before they're here. And they're like, hey, we're going to come stay for the weekend. But they didn't say anything about bringing Grandma.
Oh.
So that was kind of a surprise. So I didn't want to just, like...
I feel like in that situation, it's like, well, I have this thing that I need to go to.
Well, they came before I knew about that.
Oh, okay.
And then I couldn't go Sunday either because I went with my dad to take pictures of the car. So I was busy as hell already, so I couldn't go, which was a bummer. And then this last weekend, we were gone for most of the weekend. We went to Kansas City to pick up some stuff from an auction.
We went to Kansas City to do all types of stuff.
And then we went to Lincoln on Sunday for Easter. But we went to a couple Joanne stores. And I bought
since they're closing, everything's like 1,000,000% off.
Well, and not only that is there's stuff on discount. And then if you buy a full bolt of something, it's even more discounted.
Dude.
So I've got like over 100 yards of different fabrics.
That's actually kind of fucking rad. Do you know why they're going, like the reason why they're going out of business is absolutely pisses me off.
Yeah, they were still making money.
No, they were like profitable, like almost $1 billion a year, like hundreds of millions of dollars. It was because some other company like bought their parent company and then took out a bunch of loans against the company and then they defaulted on the loans.
Yep.
Like they were still making money. They were still profitable.
Yeah. There's a bunch of companies doing that now. That's a whole entire, what do they call them?
Private equity.
No, they call them like liquidation companies where they'll take a successful business
and just kill it.
And sell everything off and take it and do it to another company. They'll just go buy another company and do it. And apparently they make money that way.
Yeah.
But it's stupid. And now this is going to be a big deal for people like me who make shit because now pretty much you can only go to Hobby Lobby, which I don't like going to Hobby Lobby because of Hobby Lobby. We should do a whole thing about Hobby Lobby one of these days.
That would be under like a spooky or a cult.
Spooky topic. So I try to avoid Hobby Lobby. So like the only other option you're gonna get is quilt stores, which they don't have like fashion fabrics.
Yeah.
They only have cottons and stuff.
Well,
Or buy it online.
Boots.
And then you run the risk of
Hoping that it's okay, yeah.
normal buying online.
Yeah.
Hope and pray that it's fine. So it's kind of a big deal in some circles, but it's not a good thing. I'm hoping somebody else will maybe pick up.
Where they left off or something like
Yeah.
that, yeah. Or like
Yeah.
fill the niche.
That's not Hobby Lobby.
Yeah. Well, because like Michael's is the same way, isn't it?
No. So Michael's doesn't have near the fabric.
Oh.
They have a lot of other crafty things, I guess.
Yeah.
But they didn't have near the selection of Joanne for
Mm.
fabric and related things. They more have like they had more decor stuff. Michael's does,
Yeah.
but
Because Joanne has like the patterns.
yeah.
And
Oh, yeah, they had,
the
like-
fabrics and like the fills for everything.
Yeah,
And then
well,
also like
and-
yarns and
For art stuff too, they
Oh.
had everything under the sun for art stuff. So not good, but we'll see what the future holds. there.
not good.
Not good. But you guys went to Kansas City.
Yeah. Yeah, so we had the boys' trip. My boy getting married, so we had to celebrate him. So we're six dudes in two cars, and we stayed at a vineyard.
That sounds like a movie of like a coming of age road trip. 6 guys, 2 cars.
But it was great because we were just a bunch of nerds. We played a bunch of board games, played Liar's Dice. We tried to watch. What did we watch? We watched the first night. We watched The Core.
The Core?
Yeah,
Is this a horror movie? What is this?
it's think Armageddon, but instead of going up, they go down. Because the Earth core like stops spinning.
Oh.
They have to go and like reset it. It's got Carrie Ewells. No, not Carrie Ewells. The guy I always think Carrie Ewells. He plays Two-Face in The Dark Knight. That guy, Eccleston.
What?
Never mind.
Like Eccleston? Christopher
Or
Eccleston?
Ekman.
Christopher Eccleston
Yeah,
played
the doctor.
The Doctor.
Yeah.
It's
No,
that same guy?
No, it's
Okay.
Ekman, something like that.
Eggman.
So we watched that. And that one was great. And then we tried to watch Deep Impact, which that movie just sucks.
Oh.
it's got a lot of because it's supposed to be like the idea of like the entire world, like what does it do like during the apocalypse and stuff like
Yeah,
that. But
yeah.
like it never finishes any of the stories.
Oh, so it's just like,
there's this little
here's some
kid
things.
main character that you're supposed to care about, but you could take him out of the movie and nothing changes. Morgan Freeman's the president, so that's cool.
oh, okay.
Yeah. The next night, we went to Boulevard
Yeah, I like going to Boulevard.
because our boy's a huge Boulevard fan. We
Yeah.
did the private tasting thing. It was fucking awesome.
What did they have any good ones? Because I remember when we went ages ago, they had like a special one that you could only get there, and it was so delicious, and I was so pissed that they never came out with it.
They had a barrel aged chai lager.
Oh, what the fuck?
It was awesome, but
Oh my
they
God.
don't make it anymore. You can't get it.
Ah! God damn.
Yeah, so we got to try like all their different barrel aged stuff, and it was
Yeah.
fantastic. And then after that, we went to go get food at this like really really bougie barbecue place. The barbecue place is awesome, but in order to get there, it was a little bit. We didn't want to drive to find a place to park. But the cool thing about downtown Kansas City is they've got
Oh yeah.
scooters and bikes and shit.
Yeah.
So all of us were on scooters and bikes terracing around, and it was absolutely phenomenal.
I've actually never used one. I've
They
never
are-
used one of the e-bikes or the e-scooters.
They're a lot of fun.
I
the
feel
bikes
like-
are better.
I feel like they're just danger.
Oh yeah, and like all of them say, don't ride on the sidewalk because no one tries on the fucking street. No one can run over. Also says you need to wear a helmet. It's like that's not happening either.
Was that your foot? Did something fall or was that your foot?
Something fell. No, you don't get that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I liked it. I liked Boulevard. We should definitely go as a group
Yeah,
to tour Boulevard again.
but the pièce de résistance of the entire trip was the Ninja Sex Party concert,
Yes, of course.
which was one of the most fun I've had at a concert. Like, so they're obviously like a comedy band, and they're like internet based, so it's hilarious because all of the people at the concert like hadn't been out of their houses in years because they're all like internet people.
Yeah.
And so it was like really, really interesting because like everyone is just like to themselves.
Yeah,
like,
I feel like it's a whole another dynamic when you get a bunch of socially
is,
awkward people
yeah.
packed in a building.
But like, and of course, there's also like people who have been to like a bunch of concerts. There are two people that were just dressed up as wizards for just no fucking reason.
Hell yeah.
The opening band, Twerp, TWRP, they're from the 80s. They're also from the future, but they're also from space and Canada.
All right.
And they're all like in costume, so they're supposed to look like just like space people from the future, from the 80s.
Yep.
So like the main guy has like the Pit Viper sunglasses and like yellow spandex with like a jetpack. And
So was this like they took Daft Punk and like actually went for it?
Yeah.
Kind of style. Yeah.
Like their drummer is like this big like robot dude. Their bassist wears like a lion costume. But it's also like has like a captain's hat. No, and they're absolutely awesome.
That's so much fun.
And they're also the backing band for Ninja Sex Party.
Oh, cool.
So like they're just like on stage the whole time. Like then they're phenomenal. But because they're entertainers by nature, not just like musicians.
Yeah.
They can get the crowd to just cheer for fucking anything.
Yeah.
So Ninja Sex Party is one guy, Danny Sexbang is his stage name. He's kind of like the front man. He does all the singing. He's really, really good. And then the other guy, he plays synth, and his name is Ninja Brian. And so, like, after the first song, Ninja Brian goes like shakes the bassist's hand, and then the other keyboardist's hand, and then he goes back to the drummer and shakes his hand. And Dan's like, "We live with these guys. You don't have to shake their hand." Like, and then he goes to the guitarist, and it's like, walks away from him. So then the whole crowd goes nuts. It's like, shake his hand, shake his hand. And like the whole crowd is chanting. It's like, this is what we're cheering for? And then he just walks away and goes back to the synthesizer. And then the whole crowd boos. Dan goes, wow, we're 3 songs into this thing and you already have him booing for us, Brian. Good job. And like the whole concert is just memes like that. Just it's jokes as much as the songs themselves are funny. And for kind of like an intermission, basically just to rest Dan's voice. I don't know how they started the joke, but the lead singer Twerp started playing "Freak on a Leash" by Korn, and then Dan brings out like this giant bucket and sets it next to Ninja Brian, and he starts pulling out corn cobs and just stuffs his pants with them.
What?
Until he has this whole like giant bushel basket of corn just in his pants. And then they auctioned off the corn for charity.
That's amazing.
And so there's people that have like signed corn cobs. And that was
cool.
Yeah, that was the highlight of the trip. It was absolutely phenomenal. I also found a really good pizza place. We found a bar where there's a sign behind the bar. I think it was covered by a door slightly, so it read wrong. And it said, the bartender reserves the right to fuck you. I think it was supposed to say fuck you up. But
no, we're going to go with fuck you. That's so much better. That's great. I like that.
So yeah, we got to celebrate a boy, and we all had a really good time. It was awesome.
How did the shirts go?
Oh, yeah. The shirts were awesome. So where we saw it was kind of in this residential area. And so, like, the line went, like, around the block, and we're, like, in people's front yards. And so it's, like,
all right,
probably, like, maybe, like, 3,000 people at this thing. And so, like, they all spotted us because we're all wearing the same shirt.
Yeah.
And it was actually kind of cool. We had at this other barbecue place, and the guy, figured out. The lady that was standing behind me at the concert, like, in between sets, was like, what do your shirts mean? And I turn around, it's like, oh yeah, Alex, Alex Khan, yeah, it's my boy, it's a bachelor party. And it's like, oh yeah, and the back of it says, oh, I'm a linguist. It says eat, sleep, anime, repeat. Like she already picked up on it. And apparently we stuck out enough to where security thought we were cool. So Bent and New Kid we got there kind of late, so we're kind of like stuffed on like one side of like the pit. Mm-hmm. And like the security guy was trying to keep like, like the fire exit clear, stuff like that. So he was like hanging out with us because we're all just kind of in the same area.
Yeah.
And so the security guy went and got like new kid a bunch of beers because it was his bachelor party,
Woo!
and like I guess he thought that we were cool, so we all got beer from the security guy.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So
beer.
no, the shirts were an absolute
Okay,
banger.
good.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, they're good.
So I was like, I don't know if these are too cheesy or not, but
Oh no, they're the right amount of cheese.
okay, cool. It worked out then.
Yes.
Free beer.
Yes.
Oh God, we are already to past the middle. Okay. I am drinking their plum wine we were talking about earlier with the plums in it. I don't know why it has the plums in it, and I don't know if I was supposed to refrigerate this because it doesn't say anywhere.
If it's doused in alcohol, it should be fine.
But they are floating in there. I don't know what to do with them after I drink this. If I should lick them or eat them.
Squish, squish, num num.
But I'm drinking that with cherry blossom LaCroix, which I need to find more of because it's quite good and it's the only acceptable flavor of LaCroix ever because all other LaCroix is shite. What kind of weird shit you got that's pink?
Yes, it is pink. It's actually called pink. Actually, it's called kinky, but it's the pink version of kinky. And the reason why I'm drinking this is because of my topic. But before we get to topic, you need to buy our shit and talk to us on social medias.
That's the original
Yes.
flavor. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
But they make a blue now and another one that was weird.
Why
But
it
this
called
is
that? Okay. Precise point. Yes, we have the shirts and the pins and all your sticker needs. You can also support us at. You can and definitely should support us at patreon.com/randomroulette. You can find us on the Facebooks, the Instagrams, and Screaming into the Void.
that was a good one.
Yeah, that was a good one. Yeah, I think that's all the stuff. You can purchase an ad space from us if you would like for something or anything.
Dude, we'll advertise a new hat that you bought.
We will advertise whatever you'd like. You can say you bought a new microwave, and we will say it for monies. We will say anything for monies.
No, I do have some standards.
All right, we will say almost anything for monies. Alrighty.
So I got fashion.
Yes. Again.
Yes, again.
Because that's what happens
Because
when
in
you
the
spin a
cruel,
wheel.
cruel universe, the
Yeah.
fashionista does not get to learn about more fashion. Meanwhile, the guy who is the most fashionable person of all
The
time.
least fashion. You're about as fashionable as James May.
Yeah, but he is fashionable. James May is. It's Richard Hammond that's not.
None of them are fashionable. They're all bad. But I feel like when you get older, you're going to be more of a James May guy. You're either going to be
Yeah.
a James May guy or you're going to be my dad.
I don't like overalls that much. Okay. What's your favorite color?
Which one?
Just pick one. There are follow-up questions, so just pick one.
But I have two on equal standards,
Okay.
on equal footings.
Well, we can do both then.
Okay. Oh, I still have to say them.
Yes. God.
I thought you were just going to
on.
proceed with the next question. Okay. I like dark green and lavender
Okay. Do you know why?
because they look nice in my eyeballs.
Okay.
Is that?
No,
The
that
correct
works.
answer?
Do those
Okay.
colors mean anything to you?
No.
Really? They don't hold like a deeper meaning or something like that, or have like a connection? Just like it just activates fuzzy neurons for you?
They look nice.
Okay.
They look nice together too.
Okay. Let's.
Am I like going to be like the weird outlier of your questions?
No. But like that conversation does mean something.
Okay.
So let's step out a little bit.
All right.
Do you associate certain colors with certain things? Like if I the color red, what's the color red mean for you?
I think of roses.
Okay.
So, kind of like a soft and like sensual feeling.
Okay. Or like purple,
What kind of purple?
like a dark purple.
Dark purple. I also think of roses, but more like goth roses.
Okay.
I think of dark purple like a goth color. So it's kind of like a moody, spooky vibe.
Okay. So there's feelings associated with color.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Are certain things inherently a color for you? So like if I say the word flower,
No,
Okay.
because when somebody
there's a
says,
lot.
I picture like a field of flowers that are
Okay.
different colors.
That makes sense. Or if I say the word rain, is there a color associated with that?
Blue, for sure.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there are
Science is green. Math
Math is red.
Is blue.
no.
Math is blue.
History is blue.
Nope, history is red. Is this where this is going?
No. Well, kind of. We're going to talk a little bit about some color theory, specifically the colors pink and blue.
Oh, yeah, how they used to be I'm jumping. I'm going to shut up now.
Yep. So, well, no, but when I say pink and blue, especially those two things together, you automatically think boy and girl, correct? No.
Because I know the history already.
Well, yes.
So that doesn't...
Well, no, but you know that it's two things, and you know that they're kind of like opposites.
Yeah, but I'm also... You know me well enough that, like, I don't tend to gender things
Yeah.
because I think that's silly.
Don't worry.
So-
We'll get into that, too.
Okay. Here we go.
So, before there was Red versus Blue by Rooster Teeth, there was Pink versus Blue by humanity. Which is weird because it always hasn't been, what you think, and it also hasn't been pink and blue. Also, it varies a lot of where you're from.
Yeah. I don't know. I think when I think of pink, I think of like a soft blankie.
Mm-hmm.
And when I think of blue, I think of this guy
Mm-hmm.
and fluffy clouds.
Yeah. Still soft things.
Yeah, but I think that's just because I like soft things.
Okay. So, especially with like babies, you know, pink is for girls and blue is for boys, and that's how it's always been forever and ever, and that's what it's always going to be, right? No, wrong.
No, well, because some people do yellow and green, though.
Especially the Irish. That's actually a very, very Irish thing, is the yellow for girls and green for boys. That was actually very, very common then,
Yeah.
because the Celts do their own
So I don't
thing.
know. I guess I figure any baby can do any soft pastels.
We'll get there.
Pastels. I think pastels are baby.
Yes, we'll also get there, too.
Okay, all right. I'm getting
So-
too ahead of ourselves.
Classically, white was for babies. Just because,
Oh, yeah, that makes
there's
sense.
amount of like purity to it.
Yeah.
Also, white is easier to clean because you can just boil the
Bleach-
shit
yeah.
out of it or bleach
Bleach
it.
it.
Because I mean, let's be honest, these things are gonna shit their pants.
They are messy.
Yes. Also, if you back in the day when grandma had 14 children, you could buy baby clothes and they would be passed down, whether they're boy or girl or whatever.
Oh, and that's another thing. I don't know if this is part of your thing or not, but so people were making clothing out of old flour sacks
Yeah.
because they were nice cotton, so they started making them in cute prints
Yeah.
specifically so people could make
So
clothes out
make,
of them.
make cool clothes out of
Yeah.
out of
Yeah,
flour sacks.
so you would get flour sack little children's clothes. I don't know if that was an offshoot of whatever.
No, that would actually be kind of a cool thing to study because like that's a very like Depression era like way of doing
Yeah,
things.
and it's like they definitely didn't have to do that,
Yeah.
but they did.
Yeah.
And it was quite nice for the small children.
So for a lot of history, it was usually like easy fabrics. Thing is, also a lot of old dyes were toxic,
Yeah,
if
yeah.
not fatal.
Which sucks because, like, people had been using plant-based dyes for eons
Mm-hmm.
before that, and then they were like, let's make them more vibrant.
Yeah, like how arsenic makes a
Even
really
though-
nice green.
Even though, like, the plant-based dyes were by no means, like, not vibrant either. I think that's one of the things we get wrong about history in, like, the medieval period, because we like to take the color out of everything from the olden days.
Well, it's because everything from the olden days is faded, so that's how we assume that it is.
That's true. That's true.
Whereas if you restore old paintings, they get very, very vibrant. Like the pigments in like oil paints,
Yeah.
especially from like the Renaissance, were extremely vibrant.
Yeah.
There's a painter from Spain. He does this amazing work, and all the stuff is like done. It's like black first, then he paints on top of it.
Oh, yeah.
He does a lot
Yeah.
of like old like Christianity paintings and stuff like that. It's absolutely amazing. But yeah, it's vibrant.
Yeah.
But
There was a painting pigment in ancient China that was bright yellow, but it was very, very toxic. So lots of people died from that. But yeah, I don't know. I guess I understand because obviously they're digging stuff up and they're getting like the old icky. Because I even saw a picture recently. It was a painting of an empress in her dress, and we have the actual dress, and it's like all faded and icky looking. But that's because it was made out of real gold,
Oh dear God.
so it tarnishes.
Well, gold doesn't tarnish.
Yeah, I mean, it was a gold
Yeah.
mix, so whatever it was.
It would
mixed
have
with.
alloyed
So
and
it was bright yellow when it was in its heyday, but it's so old now that it's just kind of this gross, disgusting color because it tarnished. So yeah, and people are finding recipes from ink makers and clothing dyers dyers.
Yeah, dyers.
Okay,
Yeah.
that doesn't sound.
No, that's a thing.
But so they're remaking these recipes and realizing that the clothes were a lot more vibrant, and then they turned around and were like, "Well, we restored these paintings incorrectly."
Okay, that's actually hilarious.
So that's a good one too. But it just shows you that we don't know everything about everything.
No, and I mean, there's a lot of like niche stuff like this is actually kind of like lost of time because like, well, who's gonna keep track of it? Like,
Yeah.
there wasn't mass media, or especially not mass storage of any
Like-
information really.
Like the third condiment that we don't know what it was.
Mayo.
No. It was a powder. It was salt, pepper, and mystery third condiment that they
Saltpeter.
they think might have been mustard powder, but aren't sure.
Oh. Mace. So back to the children's.
Yep, back to the actual thing.
So they also really wouldn't genderfy children back in the day until they're like 6 years old.
Yeah,
to
'cause
where they
they,
can actually kind of like become people.
Might not live that long.
Yeah. There's also that.
Yeah.
To the point where actually it was very, very common for children, to like age 5, to also just like wear dresses because it's easier to change diapers.
Oh, yeah.
You just got to, pull it up.
Which makes it actually, you know what? Everyone wearing dresses and skirts makes a lot more sense.
It does.
Why don't we do that?
That's not part of this.
Okay,
That's not part of
sorry.
this essay.
Sorry, wrong episode.
That's a different one.
Sorry.
We'll touch on some of that though.
Okay.
So originally, the color blue was used in obviously paintings, but it was associated with the Virgin Mary in the early
Yeah.
church. You always see her. She's wearing like a blue veil, something like that. So blue is considered a very feminine color and very kind of like protective because Mary, mother, all of that. The first time that we can kind of get close to a color being assigned to an infant, and that actually like being what people do. It's your boy driving around again.
Yep.
The 1800s. Where is that note? 1856. Napoleon III was having a son, and all the royals are getting together and getting the gifts together for the son, and it's all like blue things.
Yeah.
Because they wanted to dedicate this boy to Mary to have her, as a saint, look over her. So, if we have Mary's color, then we get that. So blue for boys, right? And that's how it's always been, and it's always been that way. And that's
Nope.
Around that same time, there is a Dutch tradition. This one's actually kind of awesome. I wish we would do this more. Where if a couple, they have a kid.
Yep.
There was like not like a wreath, not necessarily a placard, but it was like a craft of some sort they would put on their door.
Oh, just be like, hey, we had child.
Yes.
Okay.
And this is like before you like track basically maternity leave or something like that.
Yeah.
Basically, putting that on your door means don't come in here.
Do not
don't
disturb.
bother us. Not only to just like family members and like the public and stuff like that. Also like the government. Like you can't collect taxes from these people. You can't be arrested.
Oh.
Because they're caring for an infant. They're caring for a child.
Yeah.
And most of these placards were red, but they would fade and they would be pink. Mm-hmm. And so they would always associate that. If you did have a girl, you'd usually like decorate it differently. So you'd have something different than pink. You'd add blue. So
knew.
pink would be associated with boys there, and then blue or some other color would be associated
Yeah.
with girls.
Well, and also at the time, pink was associated as like a strong color,
Yes.
and blue is more of a softer.
Well, yeah, like you said, blues.
Like the
blues
sky.
It's
Yeah.
the sky and puffy clouds and niceness.
Yeah.
Like a sunny day is blue sky.
Yeah.
Whereas red, red, a very very strong
Yeah,
color, when it
yeah.
fades is pink.
Yeah.
Also, the word pink is kind of a new thing because they would use the term rose.
Yeah. Yeah. I did read about that in my art history stuff. They called it rose all the time. It was never pink. It was rose. That's why you get most of the time it is called rose in color theory scapes. The only color that's really called pink is like
It's like yellow, isn't it?
No,
Oh.
like the really really light.
Oh, like powder pink.
Yes.
Like, that's rose.
Yeah, no,
The wall.
that's still rose. I don't think I have anything.
Really?
The Sakura notebook up there on the shelf.
The one next to the green.
Yes.
Okay.
That would be like that would be pink.
Okay.
But everything else is usually some sort of rose. Noises outside.
Yeah, so that was like kind of like how the Dutch did it. So you can see even like in a very small distance, from Paris to The Hague or whatever the hell. That's a distance of what, a couple hundred miles. Yeah, that it can be that different, or even like England would be different than even Ireland, and there's very little separating those two. As we kind of get further on into the 1890s, wait, who is it? Grover Cleveland. So he's president of the United States. His wife was making booties for their soon-to-be son, and she mistakenly made them blue, which was considered a faux pas. It's like, why would you make blue? What is
happening outside?
I hope that comes through.
Well, did she make them blue because they didn't know the gender?
We'll get to that.
Oh, okay. Or is it because that's what she wants?
She actually just really liked the color blue.
Oh, okay.
And that was the thing. It's actually really interesting to me how, especially basically until Jackie Kennedy, the first lady of the United States was actually the fashionista.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
I mean, Jackie Kennedy still was, though.
well, yeah.
Oh, okay. You were saying.
And then after that, because
And then after that, it didn't matter.
I don't know who LBJ's wife was, and then we had what comes out of that, Nixon. Like, who the fuck was his wife?
Yeah, I'm sure his wife was probably a delight.
Well, yeah, no, and then even like in modern times, Barbara Bush.
I know, but Michelle Obama.
Well, yeah, no, Michelle
was.
Obama's, yeah, she's great.
We love
But, like,
Michelle.
Hillary Clinton.
She would have been if she would have kept her personality that she had when they got married.
No.
But she turned into a grouchy old lady. So, unfortunately,
Yeah.
not for her.
But, I mean, the First Lady did kind of carry through. Well, we'll get to that in a little
No,
bit.
you're right, though. Like, the First Lady did have a lot more.
Like, pull.
Yeah. Yeah. Back in the days.
All right. So, after World War I, there's a small economic boom before the Great Depression. So, the 20s, everyone's favorite decade.
Sparkles and the glams.
So, they found out that companies that made stuff, as we started to industrialize, can then market stuff to people. And so they actually started to make gendered clothes for children, which really wasn't a thing that existed before then.
Yeah.
Because, again, children grow out of stuff so much, you usually kind
I
of...
think, yeah, kids until they were like 5 wore dresses.
Yeah.
All of them.
Yeah,
Didn't matter.
yeah.
Which it makes more sense.
Okay, so in all the ways that I researched this thing, there's a picture of FDR as like a 6-year-old with like long hair and wearing a dress.
Yeah, yeah.
But like that has nothing to do with pink or blue. But
No. And
But
that,
it
that
has
was
to deal-
like
it-
a common thing.
yeah.
It was just like you made him look cute.
I guess it's a custom that just kind of died out, but you wouldn't cut your baby's hair until they were 6.
Yeah, because the mythos around it is if you're cutting their hair before then, you are possibly cutting their life shorter. So there's actually a thing behind that.
Yeah.
And
We need to come up with more and cooler superstitions.
yeah. I think it's hard to have superstitions now, though.
Because we can scientifically prove it.
Yeah. But yeah, like, and you see basically like anything, even in the 80s, though, some of them still followed that, where they would put their whatever child in dresses and stuff because it was just easier to care for them.
Yeah. Well, especially with like the 70s and stuff like that, the late 60s with like all that freedom movement stuff.
Oh yeah, you just slap your child in some linen and call it good.
So in the 20s, they tried to like market color as well, but no one could agree if pink is for girls or boys or if blue should be for girls or boys, and so like like that didn't really work.
Yeah.
But then after the Second World War, that was when everything exploded, and we're also having a bunch more babies, thus the baby boomers. Mm-hmm. And so the marketing went nuts, and there were companies like Sears and the parent company that owns Mitchell's. Like that, one of those old school like department stores.
Yeah.
And they basically banded together and it's like, no, boys are blue, girls are pink.
Do you know why?
No.
After World War II?
Because there's a giant economic boom.
No. This is the thing I actually know. No, because
spit it out.
in World War II, unfortunately, we had some branding of people, air quotes. The people that would get pink was your poor homosexuals. You would have to wear a pink tag. So then it was considered after that to be a feminine color.
See, I didn't come across any of that. That kind of sucks because that goes into a lot of what the second part of all this.
Yeah, so that's why pink was then specifically associated with
femininity.
Was because if you were a homosexual under the Nazi regime, you had to wear a pink tag on you. And then it was, from that point on, was feminine color because if it's with those people, in air quotes, I'm not saying that as a derogatory thing because I don't think that, obviously, but that is how it was considered then. So then, after that, it was considered a feminine color, which is wacko. But anyway.
Well, it was also emphasized by, we get into the 50s with Marilyn Monroe, aforementioned Jackie O, First Lady, and Barbie. Also, very much those three, just fashion icons.
Yeah.
Associating very heavily with pink. So not only is pink just for children, it's also
for little girls.
Not only little girls, but also like grown-ass women.
Oh, yeah.
And so now pink is a feminine color. Mm-hmm. Also during this time, there was again, if a company sells you something, but only sells it for boys, and they make a separate one for girls, and you have a boy and a girl, they can't share anymore.
Yeah.
So you got to get one of each.
Uh-huh. It has to be specific.
Yeah.
For each child.
Yeah. So again, capitalism.
And then we get to probably pants.
Yeah. Well, yes. And so
I'm jumping ahead.
they start to actually like genderify like small children's clothes like sooner because again everything was basically the same until he was 6.
Yeah.
Now it's like now there's little toddler shirts and there's toddler pants and this one's got a fire truck on it. Well, this one's got a pony on it. So
now it's like, and they started gendering toys.
Yep.
At the same time, I think. So now your girl can't play with the monster truck. Mm-hmm. Not that do they have monster trucks then?
I feel like no, because they had the metal.
Yeah.
Like toys that were awesome in the 50s.
Yeah, your baby girl can't play with a dump truck. Yep. She needs to play with the kitchen set.
Yeah. But there's a theory that one of the reasons why pink stayed with and became not only just like a color for kids, but also like an adult. This is a womanly color. This is a girly color. Was there's a thing with at the time, in the 50s, like boys, well, they got to grow up because they got to either go fight in the war that doesn't exist anymore, or they got to go to the factory and they got to be manly men, and like girls, girls they got to be protected and they got to be all feminine and like girls forever until I have to, dad has to give you away at the wedding. Yeah. Because you're still just a little girl when you're fully ass grown woman. Yeah.
This is also, so in the 40s is when you get the nuclear family dynamic of the women stay home and take care of the house and the men go out and sit in a cubicle or work at the factory or whatever. Yeah. So now you're getting gendered toys because of that. So your boys are getting tools and shit as presents, and the little girl gets the kitchen set to prep her for being in the kitchen later in life.
Well, and as this just asinine form of thinking really, really starts to take hold, it's not only is pink a feminine color, it's not allowed for boys anymore.
Yeah, yep. Now it's anti. Yeah. Now it's got negative connotations to it where if you like pink.
So now pink, and like you can kind of stretch it to a little bit like all pastel colors. They're not strong. They're they're soft.
Yeah, where it's like the girls would get the pastels and the boys would get like the intense.
They get
primary colors.
Sports team colors.
Yeah, exactly.
You get red, blue, black, and white.
Yep. Sometimes green.
Seldomly yellow.
Just look at the Power Rangers.
Yep. And, in the 80s, if we're getting kind of closer to modern day.
Now we're getting more Power Rangers.
No. Well, I guess like Super Sentai was 80s, but we get to the AIDS pandemic.
Oh, yeah, then we get even...
What do you know what the original name for AIDS was? It wasn't always called AIDS.
I think I've heard it, but I don't know.
It's called GRID.
Oh, maybe not. Okay.
Which stands for gay-related immunodeficiency. Oh. Because they thought it was only passed on through homosexuals.
Oh, but it's not. Yeah, I think that was another thing. If anyone wants to go back and study human behavior, I think during the AIDS uprising would be the time to go study stuff.
So
look at these people.
Now,
stupid.
Not only is it just like, it's like, well, I can't get my son to have a pink thing.
Those were pink wings in the hospital, too. Mm-hmm. Oh, man.
Yep. And now you can't feminize your son at all because if he accidentally turns out to be gay, he's going to die of this new disease.
Yeah, he's going to die of AIDS.
So then pink is even furtherly weaponized, and the gulf is even like bigger now.
I think that's how I found out about the pink being used in World War II for homosexuals because of the AIDS wings were always pink because of that same reason. Mm-hmm. Like it was that was a connected thing, and I forgot about that. All right, carry on.
Yeah, but now pink is just for boob cancer.
Yeah, but like that's the other thing is. Anybody can get boob cancer?
Technically, yes. So throughout the late 80s and the early 90s, there's this hyper-feminization of women and this hyper-masculinity of boys, like even young boys.
Yes.
That's why sports are as big as they are and stuff like that.
Sportsy.
But I think kind of recently, we've kind of blurred that line a little bit. One of the inspirations for doing this topic, pink versus blue, is that there's like burly dudes at work that have that wear pink now.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, that's kind of rad. Like one of my favorite hoodies.
As they should. Like.
No, it's like one of my favorite hoodies is the Anime Eyes, like that pink one.
Oh yeah. What band is that for?
No, I just found Anime Angry Eyes like in a pink hoodie.
But I have a hat that's Anime Eyes in pink, and it's for a band.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Well, never mind. I thought they were for the same band. I can't remember what band though.
Well, I guess boys can wear pink during the month of October.
I mean, anybody can wear any color.
Yeah, but that's when it's like popular.
Yeah.
I know, like the NFL, they'll do like players can wear like pink gloves and pink socks.
Yeah.
Or they'll have like certain sideline things that'll be pink.
But I think those, like, when they buy those things, I think the proceeds go to
Yeah, it usually goes to research like that.
whichever one it is.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
But if
The
you
name.
see, well, I feel like especially around this part of the country, if a guy is wearing pink, the back of the shirt has some charity on it.
No, because actually, a lot of cowboy shirts are pink,
Yeah,
but not associated with anything because they're always plain. But like the snap button
Oh,
Western shirts actually
Have
pretty
pink in
commonly come in pink or have a pink blend to them. And I don't know what like the deal behind that is, because you'd think that would be the group of people that would be very anti-pink, but you actually find those shirts a lot in the light pink color.
yeah. That's I think what you're thinking of. They're called nudie shirts, Noodie, not the other one. But it's actually associated with like Nashville, like country singers, especially like Elvis, where it's that style.
Yeah, it's like the pearl snap Western shirts.
Yeah, and like I mean, music has to be loud, not only auditorily but visually, and that was one of the ways that like the
that's
early
fair.
country music stars would stand out was by those crazy shirts. So yeah,
Yeah.
no, you're right. Yeah,
Yeah. But yeah, and pink's kind of getting a resurgence as well too, because a lot of women are getting to the point where they, in their youth, they rejected pink a lot because of the connotations associated with it.
yeah,
And now, as women are getting older, they're realizing, hey, we can separate those things now. So, like, I can enjoy pink and having pink stuff because I don't have to take whatever comes with it, usually.
yeah.
Which is the whole, like, be a typical feminine woman and be in the kitchen and whatnot.
Yeah.
So now, like, women are reclaiming that in their, as they're getting older and realizing that you can separate those two things. You can have pink things.
There's also kind of like an infantilization that comes with pink.
Yeah,
Where it's
yeah.
like, oh, something that's pink, it's soft and it's gentle, it needs to be taken care of, it can't stand
Yeah,
up for
yeah.
itself. Like there's that whole thing, which
So you're getting, like, pastel goth.
yeah.
Yeah. Which is cool. It's so cool. And that's a whole another thing with, like, the kind of, like, Lolita type of fashion, too, is, like, one of the problems with it is people, like, be like, oh, you're just dressing like a weird little Victorian girl. And then it's like, no, but, like, I like wearing this. Like, why can't I wear... There's no reason I can't wear this cutesy outfit. Which is another, like, a whole nother thing. It's like, why do we stop cutesy things after a certain point of age? Or why are we doing that? There isn't a reason. There's no legit reason for it.
Capitalism.
Oh, yeah, probably. It's like,
That was like, no, we gotta be serious. We gotta be adults.
Yeah,
we
you gotta
can't
go-
have things that we like. We
gotta
have to
go
have. We can only
buy-
have things that we need.
business clothes now.
Yeah.
But yeah. So yeah, I think pink's making a heyday. Plus, like, blue, I feel like blue never got the bad rap like pink did.
Well, no, because
Ever.
blue is a ubiquitous color.
Yeah.
It's like if you ask 100 people what their favorite color is, 75% are going to say some form of blue.
Yeah, blue.
Um,
Is yours
but
blue?
like, especially if like a guy says, "Oh yeah, my favorite color is pink," there's things you're going to immediately think about them, which sucks because you're pigeonholing, this person. But
See, I didn't have that because, like, my cousin's favorite color is pink. And he's a dude. He likes pink stuff. And he's like, all right, cool. So, like, that was never a thing for me, I guess, growing up, just because, like, I hung out with him all the time. He was like, oh, yeah, my favorite color is pink. It's like, cool, dude. All right, next.
well, yeah.
But I know
no.
a lot of people don't have that experience.
But okay, growing up in the late 90s, not just being
Yeah.
born in the late 90s,
Yeah.
especially like the early 2000s, like the worst thing you could be was homosexual or even be thought up of as.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's why it's like, yeah, it's
Which
it's
I always
absolutely wild
think-
now.
Yeah, it's
Which-
like, that's crazy.
yeah. No, and that's why it was used as like a not only a slur, but just a denotative,
Yeah.
like
a
thing to
negative
say.
negative thing.
Yeah. Like, oh shit! I had like a capstone for that, but
You
I
had,
forgot what the
you
fuck
had
it
a
was.
thought. You had a thought and it ran away.
Oh no! And like I, as much as I say it's like, dude, there's nothing different between like 2001 and now. It's like, well, it actually fucking was.
Yeah, a little bit.
And one of the things that's very much different is the exception of homosexuality. Now it's like, oh yeah, my name's Steve, I'm gay, and
Yep.
like I've actually had someone like introduce themselves like that, and like I think they were expecting me to like have a feeling about it.
Yeah, it's like, oh,
I was
all
like,
right.
neat.
Okay. Next thing about yourself. Which is nice. That's a good thing, I think. I think. It is a good thing.
No, it's yeah.
Like, it seems crazy that would be something that somebody would give a shit about, but there are still people out there like that, unfortunately.
It's old people mostly.
It's not, though.
No. Okay, it's people who are raised by old people.
Yeah. I think it's just people that haven't got out into the world much. See, I think that's the cure for, like, being terrible, is to get out in the world more. Because the more you meet real people out there,
Yeah.
the harder it is to just hate things, I think. Me thinks. You hear the cat screaming?
Yeah. Yep. No, that is a quote. I want to say it's like Tennessee Elliott or something like that, where it's like the cure for the cure for hate is travel or something like that.
Yeah. Which I fully, like, believe in that.
Yeah.
I feel like you can't go out there and meet people that you get along with and then being like, oh, yes, I hate this certain type of people. And it's like, yeah, but you've met that person, that type of people that you're hating on, and you like them. So you can't just say, I hate this type of person, or I hate this type of whatever.
No. Hate people for a reason. It's okay to hate people, but hate them for a reason.
Yeah.
For a good reason.
Yeah. Hate them because they're a piece of shit. Don't hate them for their sexual orientation or their
or the
race
food they
or
eat.
whatever. Hate them because they suck. Hate them because they're insufferable to be around. I just moved this on my cord. Stop that. But yeah. So wear pink shit. Wear blue shit. Wear whatever your favorite color is. Or do you have the thing? You probably don't because you are not a lady. But I like to.
God damn it! What are you getting at?
I like to match all of my stuff for the day based on what color aesthetic I'm going for.
No, that's kind of neat.
So,
No, like right now you're all like silvers and purple.
bro, this is blue.
It's lavender, whatever the fuck.
Bro, this is blue.
Yeah, but you're still like, what are your socks? You don't wear socks.
I'm not wearing socks. So today I wore a perfume that the bottle's the same color. It's a light blue. I do that a lot. I'll pick my makeup colors that I want to wear, and then I'll pick my outfit colors based on that, and then pick my perfume. So I like to go with a color theme for the day.
I try to match my hat. Like I got orange hat because this shirt's got orange in it.
That's red. Oh god, you are so colorblind,
No,
my
this
dude.
is orange.
That is red.
Who taught you colors?
Sir, I am certified in colors.
Also, orange is actually a new color. It's about as new as pink, really.
And it is named after the fruit.
It is.
It is.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it was just red yellow.
Yeah.
Also, that was another thing I was going to mention. In Japanese, pinku is fairly new as well. It's in katakana, which means it was borrowed from foreign words.
Mm.
I think before that, it was just called sakura,
Oh.
after the
sense.
flowers. So, there you go. There's a... Purple is a weird one. It's like a... It's a really long word and I can never remember. But,
Anaranjado. That's Spanish for orange.
no, it starts with mu. I don't remember now. God damn it. It's because I said it and I wanted to think about it. So now I cannot, because that is how my brain works. Is yours like that too, where it's like you're trying to think of something and it's like,
Yeah, and just like derails.
never mind.
Happens all the time. Yeah.
Anywho, we
Well,
should probably...
do you have a top tip for the fans?
Oh, I do. Okay, so this is actually a legit top tip for the Times, by the way. If you leave the country for travel and come back and they want you to sign something, don't sign it. Because if you don't read it and you just sign it, they will pressure you to sign it if you run into the situation. But if you sign it, that means you never get back into the U.S. ever again.
Oh, jeez, God.
So watch out for that. If you're planning to travel abroad anytime soon, if they are trying to harass you to sign something, just read it thoroughly. And if it says that you're not allowed into the U.S. anymore, don't sign it. And they will have to let you go. And they don't really care if you're a U.S. citizen or not. So watch out for that if you're planning on traveling abroad. I feel like that's a useful top tip, maybe.
Yeah.
Because I've heard a lot of stories recently about that type of thing. So watch out. Be safe out there, friends. Don't get deported on accident.
Jesus God.
Yep.
Yeah, that's absolutely fucking terrifying.
Yep. Anywho.
We got a spin for me. I don't know what you should said. No, it should be charged.
It should be
good.
It should be charged.
Since we missed
It is charged.
every other.
I gotta crank the volume up. So then later, when I go to listen to something, it'll scare
Sounds loud
the
as
absolute shit out of me.
If I get fashion, I swear to God.
I would laugh really hard. Probably harder than I should. What the fuck? This thing has a number generator now? Do you need some lottery numbers?
No.
I don't play the lottery either. I should, sometimes, just in case. All right, you ready?
Turn on one of those, get the scratchers.
Does it not make the noise anymore? You got... Take a guess. What did you get?
Did I get fucked fashion again?
No.
Okay. Did I get food?
No.
Did I get history?
Nope.
Spooky?
You got... Living things!
Living things.
Did you forget
Okay.
that was a topic?
Yes. Because I don't have access to the topic thing.
Well, we will solve that hopefully tonight. Holy shit, it's already 9?
Yeah.
What in the hell? Okay, well, what's your joke? Did you forget about the joke?
Yep, I was forgetting about the joke.
I
am the joke.
That is a fair.
From our spaceport to your home port.
Signing off.
Bye.
Bye.